All right, I'm going to throw another quote at you. This is one of my favorite founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. He said this: Congress has not unlimited powers to provide for the general welfare, but only those specifically enumerated. He's saying right there, Congress doesn't have power to do whatever they want to in the name of general welfare, only those things that are specifically enumerated. What in the world does enumerated mean? Let's look at that. Enumerated means to write down or to list. Okay? Only those things that are specifically written down. Okay, so you throw that in the quote, makes a little more sense. Congress has not unlimited powers to provide for the general welfare, but only those specifically written down. In other words, here's the mantra, here's the idea of the general welfare clause. If it's not listed, you can't do it. That makes sense? Is that a simple way of just summarizing everything we've talked about this first 15 minutes or so? Yeah, if it's not listed, you can't do it, right? On the contract, you're bringing your car. If it's not listed to do it, you can't do it. I didn't say you couldn't change my car into a Ferrari, but it's not listed that you can, so you can't, okay? Jefferson makes another quote that this can help putting in here. Okay? It says, to take a single step beyond the boundaries drawn around the powers of Congress is to take possession of a boundless field of power. Okay, so here we have a visual, right? Here's Article 1, Section 8. Here are the powers of Congress in this little blue bubble we have. Now, anything within that, they can do in the name of general welfare, right? It's listed, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 2, or Clause 7, or Clause 17. They can do those things. But when they take a single step outside of the Article 1, Section 8, and the powers of Congress burst that bubble, it's a boundless field. It can go forever and ever. You get the cows out, right? They get outside the fence, they're gone. They're out. They're doing whatever they want to do at that point. Okay, that's the point he's making. Now let's contrast, right? Make the comparison here between what Jefferson's saying and what this man, his name is Francis Biddle. He's the Attorney General. He was the supreme, the highest attorney in the land back in the 40s, somewhere in there. He said this: the government of the United States can do anything not specifically prohibited by the Constitution. At first you think, well, no. Actually, he's saying the exact opposite, isn't he? Jefferson said if it's not listed, you can't do it. Biddle is saying, as long as it doesn't specifically say we can't, then we can. Is that different? Yeah, that's the mechanics version, right? If I can do whatever I want to do, it doesn't say I can't turn your car into a Ferrari, so I'm going to. That's not what the Constitution says. Okay, so here's our plain, simple Constitution, and in it, people who want an expansion of government write these things. It doesn't say in here that we can't police the world, so I guess we can. It doesn't say in here that we can't tell bosses how much to pay their workers, so I guess we can. It doesn't say in here that we can't tell people what food they can eat, so I guess we can. It doesn't say in here that we can't tell teachers what to teach, so I guess we can. Is that America? No, that's not America. That's not what the Constitution is. The Constitution lists those things we can do, and if they aren't listed, you can't do them. So here's a fun little analogy to kind of explain this, okay? Johnny goes up to his mom and says, Mom, can I play outside? She says, yeah, just stay in our yard, okay? Okay, Mom. He's playing and playing, and Johnny's like, it's kind of boring. I always play in the yard. I want to go across the street to the park and swing. And swing set looks too tempting, so he does it, right? Mom walks out of the porch and says, Johnny, what are you doing? I thought I told you to stay in the yard. Johnny says, well, you didn't specifically say I couldn't go and swing in the park. That's absurd, isn't it? She's already said, here's the things you can do. She doesn't have to list all the things you can't. Hey, Johnny, you need to stay in the yard, and you can't go to the park, and you can't go in the street and play, and you can't go to your friend Susie's, and you can't. No. She listed the things you can do. She doesn't have to list all the things you can't do. See how that works? That's what the general welfare clause means.